When you're talking about OEM integration, it is literally impossible to not talk about iDataLink Maestro. This is a brand that has brought solution time and time again to that OEM integration space. Today, we've got their product specialist, Matt Yerger, in the studio with us for some great new announcements on some new modules and some new applications. This is CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM, all about iDataLink Maestro. And it starts now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another CMA Connected presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and OEM integration is on the menu. And of course, we're talking about iDataLink Maestro, the brand that brings you solutions from top to bottom and continuously pushes the envelope on different platforms and modules that you can use to get those radios and amplifiers into the vehicles of today. As mentioned, we've got Matt Yerger in the studio with us. Matt, so much to cover, so much new application coming down the pipe. Can you give us a quick overview of what we'll be discussing today?
Hey, everybody. So 2023 is a really exciting year for ADS. We have a lot of new products coming out, including 3 new modules, 1 for radio replacement, the Maestro SR, 2 for amplifier replacement, which will be the Maestro AR2 and the Maestro A2B. We also will be releasing, some of them already have released, and some will be coming down the road, 11 new dash kits. For those of you that have been selling our products for a while, you know, usually we release 1 or 2 kits a year. We have 11 new ones coming, so a lot of new solutions.
Oh my goodness, do we ever have a lot to cover on today's session? But first, an opportunity for our partner SiriusXM to remind you dealers out there why you love it. And when we come back, we're talking iDataLink Maestro with Matt Yerger.
Hey guys, Ricky Lima here from SiriusXM. I had a chance to speak to some dealers and ask them what they love about selling SiriusXM. Here's what they had to say.
Coast-to-coast coverage.
I love SiriusXM for commercial-free music.
It's a great add-on sale and a profit opportunity.
We love selling SiriusXM because you can listen to the same channel coast to coast.
Profitability and ease of installation. It's a no-brainer.
We love selling SiriusXM for its ease of installation, great profitability, and reliability. People love it.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Now, Matt, this is a huge announcement. You're right. There is a lot of new stuff to talk about. So let's start from the very top. I remember the last time you were on, we kind of introduced this concept of a brand new platform and modules called the SR. It was very value-based. Let's go ahead and remind everybody the benefits of this new SR platform.
Yeah, so the new Maestro SR module does a bunch of different things, but really our primary focus with the SR was to provide a cost-effective solution that still stacks up to all of our other modules when it comes to reliability and ease of installation. Part of the reason why we developed the Maestro SR is really to focus more on the radios that are non-Maestro compatible, that we typically are a little more expensive when it comes to the RR. Although you can use the Maestro RR on a non-Maestro compatible radio, it is significantly higher in cost to some of the other solutions available on the market. And that's really what we wanted to address. So the Maestro SR price point will be much lower. Its new line of T harnesses will be a lot lower than the RR solution T harnesses. So as a package, the module and the harness are going to be a lot more competitive. And although it will work on a Maestro compatible radio, you can use it on any radio, and that's really our focus is to provide a Maestro reliability quality module that will work on any radio available. Obviously, if you're using it with a Maestro compatible radio, there will be some benefits like the ability to retain your vehicle settings right on the aftermarket radio, as well as our entire suite of advanced camera features. So front and side view camera control. Now, when it comes to vehicle settings, the Maestro SR does have Bluetooth built in. And the reason for that, aside from the ability to flash it from a mobile device, just like you could do on the RR2, it will also provide the ability where you can connect your smartphone, iPhone or Android, and control and access all of your vehicle settings right from the phone. So thus providing a higher level of integration at a lower price point. The application is something that we're currently working on. So once the Maestro SR does ship, the app may not be available at that time, but it is something that we are actively working on. So stay tuned.
You know, Matt, I love the fact that you're coming up with a brand new solution that is a lower price point, especially on those base model radios that we do every single day. But I do have a question for you, because as a dealer, I probably have invested a lot of money in my, iDataLink Maestro gear, especially the T harnesses. And you mentioned that this is a whole new suite of T harnesses that are SR specific. Why can't I just use the ones I have for RR?
Totally a valid question. And there is a good reason behind that. So, and I'll use an example of the RR FO2. Which if you look at MSRP on that, it's close to $100 US to a consumer. So although we could have adapted the SR to work with the existing RR harnesses, again, our main focus was cost. And because the SR does do less than the RR, so you lose the ability to do gauges, you lose the ability to do vehicle info, no radar integration. Because it loses all that, the harness is not as intricate. So it allowed us, or involved, I should say, it allowed us to develop an entirely new harness. It has less connections on it. So therefore, it is at a lower price. Which also reminds me of a point I do want to make about the SR2 is the SR is not going to work with every single solution, right? So if you look at MFT1, anything MFT1, is going to need an RR, and the reason for that is simply because it does climate controls, and the SR will not do climate control. So really, the SR is going to have a limited number of applications where only solutions that don't utilize climate controls on the touchscreen will it apply to. But again, because price was really a point for us. Not only the module needed to be at a right price point, but the T harness did as well.
All right, moving on to another important category for amplifier replacement. We're talking about the AR series, more specifically the AR2. What does this new module or platform feature as far as benefits to the installer and to the end user?
So again, new for 2023, we will be launching our new Maestro AR2 module. And for those of you that have used the Maestro AR, or maybe you might not be familiar with the current Maestro AR, which will stay and continue in the line, one of the stipulations with the AR is that it must be partnered with one of our Maestro compatible partners, DSP or amplifier with DSP built in. So that currently is Arc Audio and Audison. So really the AR will only work with those two products. What our focus with the AR2 is to provide a solution that was more universal. It will still work with our partner products just like the AR does, but it will also provide a universal solution in giving you front, rear, and sub outputs, as well as a single Toslink output. So the Maestro AR2 will work with all of our existing amplifier replacement and DSP amplifier addition harnesses. So anything that is currently available will immediately be compatible with the Maestro AR2. It also adds built-in Bluetooth. And obviously the reason of that, just like the RR2 and the SR, is the ability to flash the module from a smartphone using our Maestro WebLink application. Again, the way the T harness will connect into the vehicle is if you're doing amplifier replacement, you will remove the factory amplifier completely. Our T harness will connect directly into the AR2. From there, you will have your choice of 6 RCA outputs. And those 6 RCA outputs are configurable, meaning for chimes and alerts, Bluetooth calls, navigation prompts, you can designate where you want that alert to play, as well as the ability to remap tone controls. So just like on our AR and on our DSR1, you have the ability to say, well, the bass in the radio, the bass control or bass level on the factory radio, I want that now to control the sub output rather than the bass going through the door speakers. It literally will just attenuate the sub. And so you get all of that flexibility now through the ability of using just 6 RCA outputs, front, rear, and sub, at 4 volts. The other option that the AR2 provides is a single toslink output. Now, with a single toslink output, you are restricted to just left and right audio. So if you're using an amplifier or DSP that supports a toslink input, you can connect it, but you're not going to get some of those advanced features I just spoke of. Your alerts and prompts are all going to play through either the left or the right side of the car. You're not going to be able to do tone remapping through toslink. But if you're looking for that better quality connection, the AR2 does offer it. I will make a note about the toslink output. If you choose to use the Maestro AR2 with one of our partner products, like an Audison or an Arc Audio amplifier DSP, which both support a toslink input, you actually don't lose any functionality when using that partner product, because all of those commands, where to send the prompts, the tone remapping, is happening at the amplifier. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You're utilizing that toslink output, but also not losing any functionality, because the amplifier is taking care of it directly in its own processor.
So as Matt mentioned at the top of the show, another platform that's really starting to become critical in our install base, especially with Ford going with this digital signal, is the A2B platform. And it seems that the folks at iDataLink Maestro have yet once again come up with a great solution.
So the easiest way that I can explain the Maestro A2B, and for those of you that don't know what A2B stands for, it stands for Automotive Audio Bus. And the A2B module, if you think about in terms of amplifier replacement, because that's what it is, it's designed to keep the factory radio and replace the amplifier. The A2B works exactly the same way as the Maestro AR2. In fact, all of the features I just explained with the AR2 apply to the A2B. Really, the only major difference is the AR2 accepts an analog input, which is how all of those older premium audio systems work. The A2B, or like Bang & Olufsen from Ford, or the Revel Audio from Lincoln, which is what the A2B will support at launch, is a digital signal going from the radio to the amplifier. And so we need a separate module for that. And so the A2B module will take the digital signal coming from the factory radio, convert it into an analog output using either 6 RCA outputs, or you can go digital using the single optical output. Just like the AR2, you can use it with our partner products. It has Bluetooth built in, so you can flash it. The only major difference, I would say, is it has its own line of T harnesses. So these are going to be the harnesses that are available at launch. You will have two for Ford. So FO4 will be for like your early model Ford vehicles that came with Bang & Olufsen. Some of them weren't even badged as Bang & Olufsen. And then FO5 will be for the newer Ford vehicles. And then LI2 will be for all your Lincoln vehicles with the Revel audio system in it.
All right, I know a lot of you guys tuning in are probably waiting for this next part here, and that is, of course, the new releases. What are the new applications that are going to be available, if not shipping right now, from Maestro, Matt?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, we have about 11 new dash kits coming this year. Some of them are shipping now, which is what I'm going to talk about. And you're going to see a kind of a common theme that we've kind of approached on these new dash kits. Number one is Ford, and specifically Ford with a 4-inch screen. So for those of you that sell Maestro and you're familiar with our product, then you know pretty much any vehicle that came with the factory 8-inch screen, the My Ford Touch system, MFT1 is your kit, right? It'll replace the radio. It'll do it with ease. And so the issue is there's a lot of Ford vehicles out there that didn't have the 8-inch screen. And so the MFT1 does nothing for those vehicles. So we've kind of gone back and we're making solutions for all of those Ford vehicles that have the smaller 4-inch screen, which you see here. Specifically, the first one that started shipping was the MUS2. It's been out for a few months now. So again, if you have a Mustang with the 8-inch screen, MFT1 will replace it. If you have a Mustang with a 4-inch screen, now you have a solution for that in the MUS2. And the MUS2 is a really interesting kit. So First off, it's 2015 and up Ford Mustang. Like all of our kits, it is a beautiful factory finish. But the cool thing about this kit, and there are some specifics, is that it does require a modular radio to do the installation. And when I say it requires a modular radio, unfortunately, there is only one brand right now that has a true modular radio, and that is Pioneer. So at, current, it only will work with the 3 Pioneer modular radios, the 2550 NEX, the C5500 NEX, which is the 8-inch screen, and the C6600 NEX, which is the 8-inch screen, or 9-inch screen, I'm sorry. And so the way the kit works is it comes with a couple different bezels in the box. As you can see here, the kit itself has the 7-inch screen in, right? So this is the C2550 NEX. It retains the factory radio controls as well as the factory climate controls. But if you choose, you can swap that bezel out and use the larger bezel, which will support either the 5500 or the 6600 NEX 8 or 9-inch modular radio. It comes with all the trim pieces in the box in order to do that. And as you'll see, you actually lose the radio controls when you go to the larger screen. But for those of people that are looking for a larger screen, I mean, either way, whether they do the 7 or the 9, they're still getting a larger screen than that 4-inch screen that came from the factory. So again, it's an awesome kit. Provides that USB location down there at the bottom to mount your aftermarket USB to. Retains the backup camera. So really awesome dash kit for the Mustang. Again, continuing with the trend, Ford Edge with the 4-inch screen. So this is going to be Ford Edge 15 through 20. This kit will not require a modular radio. You can just use a standard double DIN. I know there are some depth restrictions in this vehicle in particular, so I believe you need to use a shallow mount radio with this. But like all of our kits, it utilizes the metal mounting brackets, comes with the T-harness, retains all your vehicle settings. And if you'll notice, we're retaining the factory climate below the radio. So it's a really, nice replacement for that factory 4-inch screen. We will also make a separate kit called the Edge 3, which will be the identical kit. The only difference is it will utilize the 8 or 9-inch modular radios from Pioneer. So it comes with all the brackets to do that. Some of you may be asking, why didn't we just do what we did in the Mustang and have both of them in the box? The actual back part of the kit is completely different. So we ended up deciding just to make it 2 separate kits. But again, they both include the T-harness, both include the metal mounting brackets. Again, you're going to see that continuing trend where we're really starting to shift our focus onto those modular radios. WJL1 came out, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, and it's 18 and up Wrangler and Gladiator. This is the exact same kit. It's identical. The only difference is it supports that Pioneer 8 or 9-inch modular radio. So it gives you a larger screen, still gives you that OEM fit and finish. And it's actually a really cool kit. The bracket actually holds the radio chassis vertical on the back of the screen, and the whole thing just goes in one piece. So again, metal mounting bracket, and includes the media hub adapter, just like the WJL1 does. CHA1, this has really been a highly anticipated dash kit. We've actually offered the firmware to be able to do radio replacement in the Charger, Challenger, and 300 for a number of years now, but we never made a kit for it. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that there was massive depth restrictions. So if you had, a shop that was capable of, making some modifications to the dash or building their own kit, they could do it. But now we offer a solution that provides everything you need in the box. So the CHA1 will work in 15 and up Charger, Challenger, 300, and it will replace the radio. We give you a trim bezel, much like we do with MFT1, that just flushes out a double DIN. Because of the depth, there is a restriction to just shallow mount radios, which, today there are a lot more of those to choose from, and is really why we didn't make a kit before, but now because there are so many Maestro compatible shallow mount radios, we decided to build this kit. The nice thing about our solution, specifically with the CHA1, is that unlike the other solutions available where they mount the radio very low in the dash and replace this climate control panel, and then put their own climate controls up where the factory radio went, our radio solution puts the radio where the factory radio was, which is really ideal, and maintains the factory climate buttons as well as the radio buttons. It also includes the T-harness and a media hub adapter to replace the factory USB in the center console, which is going to give you one standard USB and one USB-C. And then this actually just started shipping, was the R8 kit. And this is kind of a unique one because obviously it's not a common vehicle, but we actually did a radio replacement in the owner of ADS's R8. And, you know, we posted a bunch of pictures about it online, and we got a lot of feedback from, you know, consumers, from retailers. I said, I could sell this kit if you guys made one. And we waited quite a few years, but then again, we had so many requests for it that we ended up deciding we're just going to make it. And now you see the R8 kit. Again, the picture doesn't do it justice. You really have to see the kit in person. It is a beautiful kit, you know, with, again, our typical high quality plastics. One of the big things that I will point out about this kit that makes it so unique is we actually utilize the factory mounting tabs. So unlike most of our kits where you screw it into the dash, we developed brackets that snap the kit right in just like the factory does. So you remove the factory radio with the 4 Volkswagen keys, which are included with the R8 kit, by the way, and then you literally snap our kit right in place, the whole radio assembly. So it's a super easy install. We include the backup camera interface as well as a Sirius XM antenna retention. And then if you notice, it has this really nice button bar below the radio that gives you a bunch of different commands, including your phone commands, volume up and volume down. And then it also gives you, and this picture is kind of outdated, but it gives you 2 programmable buttons. So you can program in WebLink 2 buttons to do whatever command you want. So again, this is a really awesome kit. It just started shipping. Yeah, check it out.
Wow, Matt, that is an amazing amount of products that are literally shipping now, guys. So make sure you get on that train. But hey, we've got some CMA exclusives coming up because you know I'm going to squeeze Matt Yerger if I got him with me. Matt, I know you've got the information. Can you give us a tease about some of the platforms or applications that are coming down the pipe for Maestro?
Yeah, so again, continuing with that trend that I mentioned before about the Ford vehicles with the 4-inch screen, we have a couple kits coming for those vehicles. And they're a little bit different than the solutions I just spoke about in that they do something completely different. And that is they have their own built-in climate module. And that's why these kits are a little delayed. They're going to come out a little bit later this year. Is we actually in-house developed our own climate control module, which you will see down here mounted in the kit. Again, designed and developed by us. So again, if you're used to iDataLink Maestro reliability, you're going to get that same level of quality and reliability in this kit. And so this kit is the Edge 1, which will be for the 11 through 14 Ford Edge. Again, with the factory 4-inch screen. And this is kind of a neat kit because it will work with a standard double DIN radio, and no depth restrictions in this vehicle. But it will also in the box include a bezel that you can use the 8 or 9-inch modular radio from Pioneer. So again, that's C5500 or WC6600 NEX. And obviously, with this, you can certainly do a floating style radio. I actually have this car with a floating radio in it. It looks great. But if you're looking for that more flushed trim look with a larger platform screen, that kit is going to provide it in the box. So really, you'll just select what solution you're doing, whether that be double DIN or the modular, and you just won't use the other trim bezel. Again, retains the backup camera, includes the T-harness, does all your vehicle settings on the touchscreen. So yeah, that's the Edge 1 for, or EDG 1 for the 11 through 14 Ford Edge. So we will also provide a kit for the Ford Explorer 11 through 19. Again, this is going to be Ford Explorer with a 4-inch screen. And if you'll notice, one thing that you will see similar to that of the Edge 1 is it utilizes that same climate control module. So this one module will be used in several kits. Now, when it comes to the EXP1, again, it will just be a standard double din, but there are depth restrictions. So I know you can use like the Sony style where it's a double din, but it's really a single din chassis behind it, or a shallow mount double din. It adds a pocket below the radio, and it will have 2 mounting locations. In the box included with the kit, you will get both 2 regular USBs, and then you'll also get a USB-C as well. So you got that nice convenient storage pocket, adds a double DIN radio, and a whole climate control assembly. So yeah, again, that's the EXP1 for 11 through 19 Ford Explorer. Again, you're going to see that same similarity here. This is Flex with the 4-inch screen. So FLX1 is 13 through 18 Ford Flex. It uses that same climate module that you saw on the Edge 1 and the EXP1. It adds a pocket below the radio with 3 mounting locations. And again, it includes an aux, a USB-C, and 2 regular USB inserts. Again, fits a standard double DIN radio. Obviously, you could certainly do a floating style radio in this vehicle. It would certainly be able to do that. Retains the backup camera, retains all your vehicle settings, includes the T-harness and the metal mounting brackets. TRA1, this is a really interesting one. So this is for your 2020 and up Ford Transit. And this will have some restrictions on what radios you can use. So it will support a single DIN floating style screen. So the Sony 9500, your Alpine Halo, as long as it's single DIN chassis floating style radio, it will be supported on the TRA1. But it will also work with the Pioneer 8 and 9-inch modular radios. And I know I spent a lot of time focusing on those modular radios, but you know, we really have at iDataLink, we have the general consensus that modular is going to be the future of radio replacement. These vehicles are becoming more and more difficult with less and less room to work with. So that's why we put so much emphasis and focus on these modular radios. So the TRA1 and most of our other kits that support it, in this case, it actually includes a plastic housing for the screen itself, but you can certainly use the Pioneer, I think it's the 3800 NEX, which is basically the same radio, but it's a floating style screen instead of a modular style screen. So again, T-harness included, metal mounting brackets for these as well. LIN1. So this is a really easy one to explain. This is basically MFT1, but for Lincoln. So it's going to cover the MKC, the MKX, with the THX system. So essentially, if you've ever done an MFT1, it's going to be very similar. The bezel itself is exactly the same. The only thing that really changes are the metal mounting brackets, and the T-harness is slightly different. But this is coming soon. We should see this hopefully later this year. VW1, this is an exciting one for me because I have an Atlas. I'm actually testing this kit right now in my vehicle. And this is a really awesome kit. The fit and finish on it is just beautiful. Again, we're doing the same thing like we did in the R8 kit, where we're utilizing the factory mounting tab. So, you know, we developed our metal mounting brackets that attach to the kit and to the radio to snap that right in place. So you use the keys to take out the factory radio and which are included with the VW1, and then it just snaps right back in place. And for all of these Volkswagen vehicles, it'll support both trims, right? So if you have the entry-level radio with the 5-inch screen, that the VW1 will work in it. If you have the larger style screen, you will be able to use the VW1, and then we actually provide a plastic insert that goes where the factory CD player is in the glove box to kind of flush it out. So the other nice thing about the VW1 is it will also include a bezel for the Pioneer 8-inch modular radio. It won't work with the 9-inch like the other kits do, just because of space restriction. But the 8-inch C5500 NEX will fit into this dash very nicely. And as you can see with the kit here, it flushes out really, really nice. It just looks great in the dash. So it will work with a standard double DIN, or I should say a shallow double DIN, or it will work with the 8 or 9-inch modular radio. In fact, in my car, I have the Sony 9500, which is a single DIN full depth radio, but it fits in this vehicle very nicely. It will retain all the cameras, with the exception of the 360 camera, which I believe is will require at some point a converter for it, because it's, I believe, a digital signal. So not something that we're not working on, but we may in the future. And as far as coverage goes, this is the coverage for the VW1. So it's mostly your newer Volkswagens, but it's going to be a really awesome solution. Retains all your touchscreen climate controls. So yeah, look for this coming soon. You can check out updates on it on all of these kits on our website at www.idatalinkmaestro.com.
And that was product expert Matt Yerger giving us the goods and the deets on all things now and upcoming from Maestro. Like Matt said, if you want more information on anything covered on today's show, I do encourage you to check out their official website found right here on the screen, idatalinkmaestro.com. Now, if you happen to be a dealer in Canada, then your source for all things Maestro will be Importel. And on that note, I had to reach out to my boy, the 12-volt Viking himself, and ask him some questions. So first off, Jaron, this is an incredible offering and announcement from the Maestro camp. Let's break this up into two questions. My first question to you, what is your feedback on these new SR product that's going to be more price conscious and friendly from a budgetary standpoint, as well as the new AR modules?
Yeah, we're super excited for the SR products coming out. We know cost is key nowadays for a lot of things, and we want to make sure people are still using Maestro products in all their installs. So whether an RR or RR2 is maybe a little bit out of that customer's price range, you still want the reliability of an ADS product in your install. So that's definitely where the SR will fit right in, and give the dealer the option. So they have all options covered for their customers as they come in at different price levels, because we know we're not always doing those high-end full 9-inch radio replacements in every vehicle. Some just want that basic radio replacement, but still want the power of ADS behind their install. And the AR2, I think, is going to be super exciting coming out, to be used more versatile within the industry. You're not, as much as I love ARC audio, and you should always put in an ARC audio amplifier with your AR, there's still those other brands out there that we support as well, and we want to make sure there's an amplifier replacement available for them. So we're super excited about the new products coming out from ADS here at Importel.
Now, you got to admit, Jaron, that list of brand new product that is shipping now on top of that coming soon list is quite hefty. I mean, and this is something that is, I think, indicative of where ADS is going. Talk to us a little bit about the future of Importel with Maestro and what message you have for Canadian dealers.
Yeah, anyone that's using ADS kits now and loves the ADS kits, they're excited like we are about new kits coming, new solutions for those vehicles out there. And some have been really difficult or impossible to do a radio replacement until ADS comes out with something. So like the R8 kit, that's kind of a weird, different one. But the demand's out there. Like I think we had a conversation before that how popular is the R8 kit going to be? And they've already pre-sold 40 of them from ADS before it even shipped. So the demand is out there. So they are some very niche solutions, and then there's some very overall solutions from ADS, like the Volkswagen and stuff coming out that we're excited about. And at Importel, we're going to have them in stock as soon as ADS is shipping them out, so our dealers can look for them on the website, importel.com.
I want to take this opportunity and thank my two guests for coming on today. Of course, Matt Yerger from iDataLink Maestro, as well as my good man, Jaron Gelmalon from Importel. Now, in my closing comments, I am utterly impressed. I know that during those COVID times, R&D and development was a little bit sluggish, but man, is everything coming to fruition right now. Exciting new applications to help you installers and dealers get more upgrades into your customers' vehicles. And the quality behind these kits are going to be awesome. Add to that now this SR option, which, yes, absolutely, we've been wanting a lower cost solution to, not everybody walking into the store is going to buy that top level source unit. Here's a great platform that's going to help your customers get their units integrated into their vehicles at a lower price point, which I think will benefit everybody. And lastly, kudos once again to iDataLink Maestro for being at the forefront of new technologies coming into our garages and shops, such as the A2B platform. We're going to see more and more of this, and it seems that iDataLink Maestro once again is at the cusp of what's coming down the pipe to make our jobs easier and more profitable. That's it for the CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.